one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. Just gotta mean something to you. They gotta mean something. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2 3. 1 2 3.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps cause they know what happens next. So without further ado,
Free smoke.
look. Scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much I have you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa Bars forever, like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our blocks, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
Winning has a price. And leadership has a price.
I'm coming. I promise you, on my life, I'm coming. From the first snap, man. From the first second. What are we gonna do, man? All back against the wall. All back is against the wall.
I'm ready for whatever right now.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute. But I'm back. Welcome to Kicking It with Saint. I promise y'all, I did not take a break because of the Ravens losing. The Ravens lost last year. And I was right back on this bitch. I took a break because, bro, I ain't got no vehicle, my guy. And I'm trying to figure a lot of things out right now. Life can get like that sometimes. Better days ahead. How is everybody doing out there, man? How is it? I hope everybody having a day. If you're a Raven fan, you know, you probably still disappointed. But listen. I've been doing some thinking, and I got a lot of Raven fans who follow me. Raven fans, don't worry, bro. Don't worry. Listen, this is what I want to tell you to start the show, bro. Because I was doing some thinking. And I know a lot of Raven fans is going to be disappointed. I know a lot of Raven fans is upset. I didn't even think I was going to get on here and start talking about the Ravens. Anyways, listen to me. If you done lost faith in Lamar, because I haven't lost faith in Lamar. I didn't lose faith in Josh Allen. I criticized both of them. Not even criticize them. I critiqued both of them. And I said I still trust both of them. Because I understand that this game is a tough one. I understand sometimes you run up against Michael Jordans. That's just what happened. But listen to me. Ye of little faith. You got to have faith. Listen, I look at these things as learning lessons, more so for Lamar than I even do. Bro, some dude in the comment section the other day. Okay, let me address something real quick. Because I think some of y'all are some weirdos, bro. And I don't want people, just because I like a comment or something like that, bro, I got to address something. I think like 2 or 3 or 4 dudes done left comments basically saying, nah, Lamar, Josh Allen beat Patrick Mahomes. Bro, how do y'all keep turning them L's in the playoffs to wins? Like, bro, that's like me sitting here saying that Lamar won against Pat Mahomes because Pat Mahomes didn't do shit in the second half. That don't make sense. Like, at the end of the game, it was an L. Like, bro, y'all Josh Allen stands, bro. Y'all got a problem. Dead ass. I done had so many different people comment and be like, Josh Allen outplayed Pat Mahomes. Bro, at some point in time, y'all gonna have to understand how this thing of football works. And a win and a loss is not dictated based on who play the best. It's about who win the game at the end of the game. I don't care if Josh Allen throw for 600 fucking yards in a game. I don't care if Lamar run for 200, throw for 400. If you lose at the end of the game, that's a L. And then to the dude who specifically said Josh Allen outplayed Pat Mahomes in that playoff game for all 4 quarters. How? And they talking about the one that they love to bring up for Josh Allen. How? I don't know how this, bro. I honestly think this is a disservice being done to Josh Allen at this point. I guarantee you, if you ask Josh Allen his best games, he would not continue to bring up, or wouldn't even be happy if you continue to bring up a loss in the playoffs. Bro, Josh could have threw for 1,000 yards. If he lost that game, I promise you he don't give a damn. That's why you didn't hear nobody talk about Carl putting up 63 points. Because they lost to the Charlotte Hornets the same night he dropped that. You only heard about the other dudes dropping 70 because they won. When Devin Booker dropped 70 before a while back and they lost, nobody gave a fuck. So this, y'all Josh Allen fans, man, y'all something else. I'm be honest. And it's only the white dudes who continue to say shit like that. Like, oh, he still outplayed Pat Mahomes. Like, bro, I understand your lack of melanin allows you to see things from a ridiculous point of view. But, bro, y'all making other white people look bad. I just want y'all to know that. Like, y'all like to say, oh, you making black people look bad. Y'all making white people look bad, bro. Dead ass. Because that's just ridiculous. I mean, this is the type of denial that make fans a bunch of weirdos, bro. That's like me sitting up here every day of the week. Oh, but Lamar still out. Like, bro, no. I don't care if Pat Mahomes threw 8 interceptions. If they won the game, that's all that matters, bro. We'll deal with the semantics afterwards. Nonetheless, back to the Ravens fans real quick. Listen, I look at this as a building block. Like Giannis, I was finna call this man Giannis. And I got a homie who be calling him Giannis, and that shit be pissing me off. This is like what Giannis said. It's steps to success. All right? That's how I look at it for Baltimore. I'm so happy that Lamar finally got to an AFC championship game. Am I disappointed that they didn't win it? Absolutely. However, there is building blocks in this thing. Lamar Jackson could have easily won this game. If Zay Flowers don't mess up, some mess ups here in a second, they could have won the game. But I'm not finna get on here and tell you they won the game just because a whole bunch of shit didn't go their way that should have went. No. Over the summer, like I said, this will either motivate them, because I done seen this in sports before. And maybe that's why I'm not too irritated or bothered by it. Well, it's a lot of reasons I'm not bothered by it. But I guess because I saw the Ravens lose in 2011-2010 season on the field goal. Lee Evans dropped a touchdown, and then they missed Billy Cundiff missed a kick. That hurt my soul because of how bad I wanted to beat the Patriots. I saw Ray Lewis in the locker room say, Joe, you played your ass off. I'm not going to go through the whole Ray Lewis speech that he had. But it was a great speech. And I remember that speech all the way to the next year when we was in that moment again and we came through and we got the job done. I still believe that can happen for Lamar Jackson, for Josh Allen, for Joe Burrow. I don't think Joe Burrow is as good as them too, but Joe Burrow did end up went into Kansas City and won that game. So that's big. You want to know what's crazy? And it's not going to happen too often because Lamar is such a great quarterback, and he is a rising tide for the team. So it's going to be very rare, unless it's just a down season, that he don't have a top spot in the AFC. I actually think being the road team would work so much better for Baltimore. I don't know why Lamar liked to go on the road and play against people, but look at his road record. I think his road record is better than his home record. Lamar just get a kick out of going into somebody else's building and playing. I actually think the first Super Bowl Lamar ever win, and I'm saying it now, I do believe he'll win a Super Bowl, it's going to be on the road. Like, that playoff series will be on the road. Like, I'm hella impressed by what Pat Mahomes did, but Joe Flacco won his first game at home and then won the rest of them on the road. Not to mention, he played against Peyton Manning in Denver, Tom Brady in New England, and then had to go play that 49ers defense. So if we talking about the level of difficulty, I'm probably going to take Joe Flacco's run over Pat Mahomes' run. That's right now. I'm not putting Pat Mahomes under Flacco as far as player. I'm talking about, I done seen guys go on the road. So while I'm impressed with what Pat Mahomes did, I told y'all before, it's the playing on the road don't really mean much to me. I done seen the Giants go on the road and win the Super Bowl. I done seen the Packers go on the road when they had won their Super Bowl. Like, I know the media right now want to overhype what Pat Mahomes is doing as far as going on the road. That shit don't matter to me. The only time that mattered to me is for the quarterback that lost at home. I'm going to be honest with you, though. Lamar struggling at home, I don't know what it is. I just feel like the pressure, I'm not going to tell you that it mount up for Lamar, but I think it's more pressure for him to win at home when he is at home than it is on the road, which is crazy. Like, I don't get it. I don't know how he look at it, but I feel like, you know, most people when they at home, they feel like a comfort and whatnot. I feel like Lamar is opposite. His comfort zone is on the road. It's crazy. But if you are a Raven fan, just look at this as a learning lesson, bro, as a building block for your team to be successful. Would I have loved for Lamar to win his first ever AFC championship game? Absolutely. But he didn't. I didn't take that and say, oh, he's never going to win. No, it's a learning lesson. It's a building block. Now, you could say that for Josh Allen, too, even though he done. It's a building block for both of them. I refuse to believe that Josh is not going to win a Super Bowl one day. He and Lamar will both win Super Bowls. And you just got to look at these as building blocks, bro. If they don't take what just happened to them, because the Ravens should be looking at this game and saying, we should have won this game. And, you know, I do feel as though I might have been a little bit too hard on Lamar. I mean, because he had one bad game, basically, out of his last, 10 games. And it was the worst bad game you could have in that spot. And he did a lot of great things to try to still get his team to win. I get that. And other people just let him down. But it would not be fair if I didn't say he let the defense down throughout the entire first half, basically, and through parts in the second half. And I understand shit happens. But listen, at the end of the day, just look at it as a building block. Look at it as a learning lesson. It's going to be the media that talk, but that's because the media don't like Lamar Jackson. That's just simple. So I'm telling you, if you're a Raven fan and it's been hard for you, don't let it be. Just look at it as a learn. And this is one of my biggest things. We haven't won since 2012, so it don't really get no harder for me to move on from losses. I done seen my team not win the Super Bowl since 2012. It's easy for me to move on. But I'm going to talk about the Detroit Lions, but I want to talk about something else first. But before I talk about that other thing, I do want to say this. When you tell me that a head coach go for it a lot, I'm going to tell you that's a bad head coach. If he know, well, let me rephrase that. When you are just known for, oh, Dan Campbell going to go for it on fourth. He going to go for it, right? A great coach going for it here and there makes sense. A coach who just done determined he like to go for it whenever. That's why the Lions are sitting at home right now. But I want to talk about something else. See, I said the other day that I was shocked that nobody had waited to hire Mike McDonald. I thought that was crazy. He has been hired as a head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. Call me crazy. Mike McDonald might have been the best hire to me in the offseason. And I'm going to tell you why. Who has put together a better defensive resume in 1 year than Mike McDonald? Look at the teams he had to beat this year and look at his last game. They didn't lose that playoff game because of his defense. He gave up, 17 in the first half? 0 in the second. That's adjustments. You remember when Peyton Manning would go in at halftime, you like, man, he going to figure us out in the second half, so we got to be sharp. You come out in the second half and he start dissecting your defense. Mike McDonald's adjustments is unreal. Now, you can say, well, look at the talent he got. And I will say he got Kyle Hamilton, he got PQ, and he got Roquan. He not working with, the greatest talent ever assembled. He just knew how to assemble the talent that he got and have them play as one unit. To me, when you look at a guy who was able to stifle a Pat Mahomes offense, the Kyle Shanahan offense with all the different type of offenses that run that Kyle Shanahan offense. The fact that he is able to stifle a Bengals offense. To me, Mike McDonald definitely deserved a head coaching job. I'm sad to see him go because I actually love Mike McDonald. I think what he done in 2 years for the Ravens, I'm more impressed by what Mike McDonald has done than I am with what Greg Roman did. Not Greg Roman, Dean Pease, Wink Martindale. To me, I mean, some people will argue Rex Ryan, but I'm looking at those people he had on his defense compared to who. I mean, the man had Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs, Ray Lewis walking around, Alohi Nada, Double J. Like, he had a lot of talent walking around that defense. To me, just in my recent memory, the best coach and defensive coordinator I think the Ravens done had in a minute, and I understand Chuck Pagano, I don't want to forget him. To me, it's got to be Mike McDonald. And I know he only had 2 years as the DC, but man, when you see what he did to a defense in just a year, basically, because his defense done been all world this year, all world. I told you that was a championship defense, and they proved it. So I think Mike McDonald was probably my favorite hire. Not to mention, I don't know why Seattle was so addicted to defense. I thought that's the team that actually would have tried to go get an offensive coordinator with all the offensive talent they have to try to get that offense going. Instead, they think that Mike McDonald is a great hire because you have defensive talent who I believe Mike McDonald, and he probably will call the defensive plays. Now, what's going to be interesting for Mike is he able to be a head coach and manage everything that come with being a head coach, not just managing the defense? Because I imagine he will turn the defense for Seattle around. I have no doubt. He got the talent over there. He got to figure out that middle linebacking position because Bobby Wagner is getting up there in age. He already up there in age, but I'm not the biggest fan of the pass rushers either. However, the thing that you love about Mike McDonald is he don't need a premium pass rusher. The dude got production from everywhere on his defense. So if I'm Seattle, I'm happy about the hire in the sense that Mike McDonald is definitely going to turn his defense around and make him a championship defense. Not just that, bro. You got to be a great leader of men when you can lead the personalities that the Ravens have on their defense. However, if I'm a Seattle fan, I'm also a little weary because, man, we could have brought in an offensive dude to jumpstart this fucking offense. This offense hasn't been prolific ever. Seattle just does not want to have a prolific offense, but they got talent that would suggest we have a prolific offense. But that's just not the case. So I'm very interested to see how this all works out for Seattle. I would not be surprised if this hire didn't work out. But if it doesn't work out, I don't think it'll be because Mike's defense. Like, I do believe that the defense for Mike McDonald would be a great unit. I just think they wouldn't end up having a great offense or a consistent enough offense. Not to mention, I'm not that shocked that they chose to bring in Mike McDonald. Seeing as how you play in a division with Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. So you play both of those offenses. Mind you, Sean McVay's offense did a job on Mike McDonald. However, you bring in Mike McDonald because you want to find a way to stop those two offenses. I get it. And you imagine that the offense he play over there with Arizona won't be a problem for him. But I'm definitely interested to see what he do because the one thing Mike McDonald still have to remember, there were times where your defense got stops, right? But did they get stops no, it's times where your defense kept getting stops. But Lamar Jackson eventually answered. You have Geno Smith now. Regardless of how you feel about Lamar losing in the playoffs or the AFC Championship, because I know there's going to be some people who try to hold that over his head like it's the fucking... I can't even think of nothing right now to come off of that. Silly me. Anyways, bro, y'all know what's crazy, bro. Coi Leray, I think that's how you pronounce her name. I can't remember the last time I seen somebody with that type of sex appeal that didn't have nobody. And I'm not trying to body shame Coi Leray. That's a baddie though, bro. That she a baddie with nobody. It's crazy. But and I saw her write something the other day. I think she tweeted or something like that. She just trying to focus on her sex appeal or whatever. I do think it's a bit of a shame that every fucking woman who famous basically in the music industry or whatnot only care about sex appeal. That is crazy. But I ain't bothered by it. I just don't think, I mean, sex sells at the end of the day. So, you know, nobody gonna listen to, even though I don't know how that correlates, that, you know, sex appeal gonna make me listen to her music. But, you know, they could say stuff about dudes. I can already hear it now. Don't nobody say this when dudes do this and that. I'm not trying to hate on y'all women. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying I don't really understand how sex and the sex appeal in the music industry sells. But then again, you're not trying to watch a bunch of wrestlers who fat as fuck get in the ring. Or if that were the case, you just watch sumo wrestling. So I get it, I guess. But I just stopped in mid-conversation, mid-thought, because Coi Leray is a baddie. Bro, y'all know who else look good? Lexi Brown, who be on that Gilbert's Arena. I don't really know why she be on the show. I don't really know what she provide to the show. She bad though. She bad. Anyways, shout out to the Seahawks on that hire. I don't want to say, even though I just said I think that was the best coaching hire, I actually want to recant that statement now that I'm thinking about it. Because if this offense don't do shit, and I've said this multiple times, it's hard to have a great OC because he getting plucked the next year. You know what I think he should do? Go get Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy could flip this offense around for the Seahawks. I also think the Chiefs going to have to do something because I already have my predictions for next year. I think the I think the Ravens and the Chiefs are going to meet up again next year in the AFC Championship game. And I think it's going to be in Kansas City this time. And now Lamar got another chip on his shoulder. Now Lamar got something else to work for. I see why Lamar don't like being I see why he like being an underdog, but I do think that's the next part of his maturation. You have to be comfortable with being the big dog. Like I listen to everything Lamar say. He does not like being the big dog. Now, I don't know if that stemmed from all the hatred he done got thrown his way and all the doubts that's been thrown his way since he entered the NFL, but I do know he don't like being the big dog, the favorite. He prefer to be the underdog. Pat Mahomes would prefer to be the favorite. He go into your building wanting you to know, or you coming to his building and he wants you to know, I'm supposed to win this game, not you. I think it's something special about that. I actually don't go for the underdog most of the time. You know how some people be like, yeah, naturally, I just go for the underdog. I think losers do that. If you somebody who say, I just always go for the underdog, you're a loser and you like watching people lose because it's not often that the underdog win. That's why they're the underdog. I had a homie who used to always go for the underdog against John Jones. And he learned very quickly, don't matter how many times you do that, they're not going to win. So I'm not an underdog type of person. Like, I understand there's times where you can go for the underdog because the underdog is not really that big of an underdog. But in a situation where it's a true underdog against like the true big dog, I'm usually going to go with the big dog, bro, unless I just don't like the motherfucker. And even then, my disdain for a person or a thing does not have me dictate who I'm picking, because that's just stupid. Nonetheless, though, I like that hire by the Seahawks. Very interested to see what you do with the offense and how you get an offensive coordinator over there. I'm going to be honest with you. If you bring over Eric, whoever they hire as an offensive coordinator, if it's a good offensive coordinator, he won't be there too long because the Seahawks have weapons. And so if you get a good offensive coordinator who can put together a great offensive scheme and game plan for this Seahawks team, he won't be the offensive coordinator for longer than 2 years, bro, because an offensive coordinator that can, for one, people not going to say, well, look at the talent he got. What they're going to say is, look at how nobody else got this type of production out of this talent consistently. So I'm looking forward to see who Mike McDonald hired as his OC. I'm happy that he got this job. I'm not worried. I know some Baltimore fans is going to be worried, like, oh, my God, what do we do defensively? I'm not worried. When you have a defense, for one, it's going to have to be changes made to. No, you know what? I am worried now. No, I'm not worried. They're going to still keep the same defensive philosophy that Mike McDonald brought over. I imagine whoever worked under him will probably get that upgraded to the DC, unless John Harbaugh just want to go out there and get a different DC. I don't really know what DC you could bring over, though. That would be too much better than what Mike McDonald just did for you. I think Mike McDonald is a special type of defensive coordinator, because he got the most out of not having the greatest talent in the world. I understand he got Kyle Hamilton. I understand he actually showed you he know how to develop players also, because look at what Kyle Hamilton did under him. Obviously, you don't want to give him all the credit, but the players spoke super high of Mike McDonald. So if you look at what Mike McDonald done, it is hard to replace somebody like that, but I think it's harder to replace somebody like that offensively. Defensively, if you still retain most of the same players, and I understand some dude's going to be leaving in free agency. Patrick Queen, for the millionth time, is 100% going to get a big contract somewhere else. I still feel like I trust the Ravens to be able to replace all of that talent and the guys that's leaving out and bring other guys in. So I'm not too worried about it in a sense that, plus you still got Roquan and Cal, bro. So the Ravens defense going to be fine. If anything, I think the Ravens need to focus on the offense, getting even more out of the offense. Odell was a decent signing. Odell, as soon as people started to say Odell was looking like Odell again, Odell stopped looking like Odell again. So that other video, I was just critiquing Lamar. This is probably the video where I'm going to pick at other people on the team on how to get. I'm going to tell you something. As bad as Zay Flowers' moments were, as long as he don't let those moments define him, bro, he good, bro. Like, he can't carry that. I don't want Zay to turn into Marquise Brown just because of a couple bad plays. Because if you really look at the Ravens offense, it was only Lamar and Zay. That was the offense, Lamar and Zay. Which ain't too bad when you got a receiver that small who can get open the way Zay is getting open. I have nothing but faith in Lamar and the Zay Flowers connection over the next couple years, and they better figure out how to make sure he stay long term. Like, they better not let Lamar and Zay build up the rapport that they finna build up and then get rid of him. The way I look at this Lamar Zay thing is how I look at Pat Mahomes in his first year. His first year when he had real talent around him, well, not really even real talent. His second year after losing to Brady, he took off. I kind of look at this as Lamar finally got a guy that's not a tight end. Next year, they'll be better. Not to mention, I told you, they will figure out this tight end thing, but I'm finna tell you something crazy. I think they need to trade Mark Andrews. Now, before you go crazy, Raven fans, understand this. Look at how Lamar played, and I didn't like what people were saying at first, but then I went back and I've been looking at some tape. I just like Lamar Jackson, the quarterback, far more when he don't have Mark Andrews out there. His ability to read the field. He just a far better player, not even just a quarterback, bro. At first, him adjusting to not having Mark Andrews was interesting because he didn't trust Isaiah Likely. He was so used to Mark Andrews being there. But Mark Andrews now, if they cannot figure out how to draw up an offense that utilizes both guys, I would much rather have Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely's hands is just as good as Andrews. He not a better route runner than Mark Andrews yet, but he got better throughout the season. He a far more athletic tight end than Mark Andrews. Faster than Mark Andrews. I like how he can run after the catch. I'm not gonna lie. Everything I saw from I would prefer to lose one day Mark than to lose Isaiah. Because I think Isaiah Likely's trajectory and his ceiling, and I understand Mark Andrews is one of the best tight ends in the game, probably likely a future Hall of Famer, yada, yada, yada. I like Isaiah Likely. And one of my biggest problems in that playoff game was the lack of Isaiah Likely. That's why I said I really wish that Mark didn't play that game, because I knew what Lamar would become when he got Mark Andrews back. And I understand Mark Andrews' route running is so far and away better than Isaiah Likely's that it make it hard to not have him on the field because he understands how to get open. But if you had to just let Lamar, you want to know what the problem was? For a lot of the playoffs, it's been Lamar, Zay, and his tight end Isaiah. Last game, it was just Lamar, Zay. And I also feel like they got to go get a running back, because I did some thinking. Mitchell is still going to be recovering from an ACL next year, or an Achilles, whichever one he popped. There's no way you trust in J.K. Dobbins for a third, fourth year to get hurt again. There's no way. If the Ravens go into the season with J.K. Dobbins as they start running back, I just think that's absolutely ridiculous. I think that the Ravens are going to go all offense in the offseason. I think they watched that game and said to ourselves, how can we get more out of this offense when Lamar cannot be Superman? And they already found a way to do that to an extent this year. But now they got to go even further. How can we get Lamar to win games the way Pat Mahomes just won this game? Pat Mahomes didn't score a fucking point in that second half. We got to get to the point where we can win games like that. Now, whether it be because you go get a Derrick Henry, who I actually think would be a good signing for the Ravens. I understand that some people think Derrick Henry best days is behind him. Not if you put him on a team that's a winning organization like the Ravens. I think you can get 2 to 3 good years out of Derrick Henry still. Not to mention Derrick Henry don't get hurt. So the Ravens haven't had a running back they could trust not to get hurt in since Ray Rice, basically. Yeah, basically since Ray Rice, you haven't had a running back that you can trust that's going to be there every game of the season. And that's been a problem for the Ravens because Lamar don't know who he turning around handing the fucking ball to. Also, I done some thinking. I've thought about this a lot. If I'm the Bills, I probably would trade James Cook and go get another running back. For one, his contract coming up soon. You're not going to pay him what he's going to want to get paid. I don't really think. I feel like he was overhyped at the end of the season. And I think the reason he was overhyped is because Josh Allen and that offense didn't look the way they usually look, especially in the passing game. Josh was just trying to figure some shit out because you could say Dalton was reliable for him and this and that, but what he usually expect out of his offense in the passing game, he couldn't get that out of them this year. And I really think that's due to having a bad OC and not really having a good OC since Daboll. I don't even like the new OC that they brought in after Ken Dorsey was fired, but that's just me. Either way, to me, this season, going into next season, I really think that the Ravens should go all in on the offensive side of the ball. Y'all gonna figure it out defensively. I truly believe that. And shout out once again to Steve Spagnuolo, bro. He don't get enough credit for how good a defensive coordinator he is. But let's talk about them Lions. I saw the clip of C.J. Gardner-Johnson waving off the crowd at halftime. I do not know what he was doing after they took that L. But I'm not going to put this on the players, even though, you know what? It's something that, okay, so at the end of this Detroit game, look at how many drops and I don't get that about Detroit. They running the same plays they ran to take the lead. And now at the end of the game, the pressure start to mount, and now we dropping shit. We overthrown. And I don't even think Jared Goff was their biggest problem, believe it or not. Bro, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown, the sun god, dropping shit that he should be catching. You got just players dropping passes, not running good routes. That's coaching to me. That's coaching mixed with playing. At some point in time, bro, the Detroit Lions, the record getting better under Dan Campbell, that can't just be because of Dan Campbell. Okay? They made some great offensive draft picks this year. That's why I said the Ravens got to go all in on offense. Because look at what going all in on offense did for the Lions. And I understand the Lions play in the NFC, so it's a weaker division. But you got Lamar, so you go all in on talent, bro. You're going to be even better. My problem is that they kept giving Dan Campbell all the credit for this Lion team. And I knew what I was watching. I knew there wasn't a whole bunch of great coaching going on from the head coaching spot. And of course, coaching cost you. Because Dan Campbell decided to go for it instead of just punting the fucking ball on the fourth down. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I don't feel bad for the Lions and nothing like that because you moronic at, I'm not going to go at the Lion fans. However, this is why I hate sports media. Sports media celebrated Dan Campbell going for it on fourth down all the time. Always celebrated him. Not too often did you hear any real analyst get on there and say, yeah, I understand he going for it, but I wish he'd go for it in smarter situations. To me, one of the great moments of Dan Campbell's bad coaching is just pure stupidity. Anytime a coach go with the crowd, that's a bad coach. It's a bad coach. Anytime the coach need to feed off of the crowd and understand, it's a bad coach, bro. You remember when John Harbaugh asked Lamar, yo, what we gonna do right here? That's one thing. Even though John Harbaugh said we was still going for it right there. I just wanted to check with Lamar to make sure he wanted to go for it also. That's not being dictated by what the crowd noise is. Dan Campbell making dumbass decisions just based off of how loud the crowd is, bro, or how momentum. Bro, I don't even think he make moves off of momentum because sometimes his team don't have momentum and he try to create it by going. Anytime a coach say, we have to create some type of momentum, so I went for it. Well, that's why you also lost, bro, because you clearly don't understand what coaching is, okay? Dan Campbell being allowed to just be a bad head coach and get all the credit that his coordinator should be getting is insane to me. Not to mention, I don't think the defensive coordinator is that great because I looked at Mike McDaniel turn his defense into a great defense, and I understand what the numbers say for Detroit, that it was not a great defense. But I will say this about the DC. 2 years in a row, he found a way to get the most out of him towards the end of the season because I don't think that the Detroit defense is I don't think Detroit's defense is necessarily why they lost, but they started looking like the bad Detroit defense I expected late in that game, basically. And so, to me, this ain't no simple fix for Detroit. You need cornerbacks, you need safeties, you need linebackers. Simple as that. You can hold off on the pass rushers because you have Aiden Hutchinson. As long as you got him, they'll double team him, and other dudes will get free on the defensive line. However, I don't like the linebacker play. I don't like the cornerback play. I don't like the safety play. I hope I'm not forgetting a good player in this crew. That's the problem. Detroit's defense is so disgustingly bad to me at times. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't really care if a Detroit fan listening to this. I don't like your defense at all. I love Aiden Hutchinson. Outside of that, no other dude is somebody else on their defense that I'm forgetting. That's a good player. Aside from that, it don't matter. This is not a good enough defense. And the only reason it seemed good enough is because you played in the NFC. I think, personally, Detroit is set offensively. You should not be. You got a great offensive line. You have weapons. You got two great running backs. You got the receiving core. I'm not the biggest Jared Goff guy, but you got Jared Goff. You got to go stiffen up that defense. You have to go add talent to that defense. And I'm going to be honest, I'd hire a new DC. I don't understand keeping the same DC multiple years in a row when your defense ain't really been world beaters, bro. To me, in order to keep a defensive coordinator for as long as you keep certain defensive coordinators, he got to show something. Steve Spagnuolo is clearly, it's obvious as to why he has been a defensive coordinator for this long. Because he get results. His defenses might not look great throughout the season sometimes. They look great in the playoffs every year. So to me, I don't understand why the Lions continue to keep their DC, but whatever. On top of that, your offensive coordinator can't be the only good fucking coach in the staff. Mind you, he leaving. He just got hired by somebody else, I believe. I can't remember if it was Carolina or Tennessee. I think one of those two teams. No. Tennessee hired. Carolina hired the OC from Tampa. I don't know if the Lions OC got hired somewhere else. Hold up, we about to find out. I can't remember if the Lions OC got hired by somebody else. Also, the Lions offensive no. Ben Johnson. Yeah. He's staying with the Lions. Okay. That makes sense. I don't know if Ben Johnson shouldn't just be the head coach of the Lions to keep it a buck with you. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if these motherfuckers shouldn't just hire him as the head coach, but ultimately, I'm not that impressed by Ben Johnson's offense to keep it a buck with you. I don't really. I like the offensive scheme that he runs. And I don't think Ben Johnson was the problem as far as them losing. However, his offense really ain't. I think his offense is more. It kind of looked like the Dolphins' offense is better. That type of offense. But I see the beauty in what other people see in Ben Johnson's offense. I don't think it's as prolific as other people like to say it is. I think it's a lot of short throws, a lot of crossers, a lot of slants, a lot of comebacks, a lot of, it's not really. And the biggest thing I can give to, the biggest compliment I give to him, dudes run wide open in his offense. And to be honest with you, as long as you got motherfuckers just running around wide open in your offense, I got nothing negative to say, bro. Because that's really what you want, is for your offense to have motherfuckers running around wide open. But to me, Detroit gave away a game. They gave away a game. Not to mention, bro, the 49ers, like I said before, I just don't think this team is a team that everybody else thinks they are. I think they feasted on a weak NFC for a couple years now. I don't know how the 49ers is able to afford all the talent that they put on this team, because I can't even say it's really great drafting, because it's not necessarily great drafting. They traded for Purdy. Yes, they did draft Nick Bosa, and they drafted some of these dudes on defense. So it is great drafting and development to a certain extent. But a lot of these guys on this team, Trent was traded, or they signed Trent. So I guess you could say it's just they run a good team. They run a good organization. But I'm not fooled yet. For me to believe in them, they're gonna have to beat Kansas City in the Super Bowl, bro. They got to. That's the only way the 49ers will get me to believe in them. That's it. Because I don't think this team is a team that everybody else think they is. Not to mention, I saw somebody today say, well, I didn't see him, they told me, they think the 49ers is about to blow out the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. No shot. I'm going to tell you what I'm not going to like that come out of the Super Bowl. The way they going to talk about Brock Purdy if they win the Super Bowl, bro. Oh, my goodness. And Brock Purdy he made some plays in the second half of the game for the that's what I'll give to Brock Purdy. He didn't fold in the second half. Now, I also was talking to a homie, and I was defending Brock. I was like, bro, at least he didn't fold in the second half. He came to life, yada, yada, yada. I was like, listen, I know some quarterbacks who would have folded. And he thought I was immediately talking about Lamar. I was. But he loved Lamar too. He was like, bro, don't talk about Lamar like that, bro. If he had that talent, he wouldn't have folded. And then he was like, he didn't even fold, bro. Zay folded. Listen, I agree. If Josh Allen and Lamar had that type of talent around him, sure, they would have figured it out. But they don't. So I get that, Buddy made some plays at the end of the game. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out who got the better supporting cast, Joe Burrow or the 49ers. I would definitely take the receiving core for the Bengals. What am I doing? Bro, I'm taking that Bengals receiving core all day. Now I understand you got to think about the offensive line for the 49ers. You got to think about the running back for the 49ers. And the 49ers might got them beat at every other position. But at receiver and quarterback, the Bengals stand above every team in the NFL to me. Now, they won't this year because they're not going to have T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd back unless both of them take pay cut. Like, the pay cut that the pay cut that T. Higgins would take if he wanted to stay in Cincy, because he can go get a max contract. I don't even know what a max contract is for a receiver in the NFL, but he going to get paid handsomely to be a number one receiver. I'm going to predict that it's going to be Carolina that go all out for him, because all they talked about was getting Bryce a number one. Somebody is going to pay T. Higgins. Now, my irritation will be if people try to say, oh, he was only good because Joe Burrow. That'll be very frustrating. However, I do believe T. Higgins is going to get paid. But back to this 49ers-Lions game. I think Dan Campbell just showed you what being a bad coach disguised as a good head coach who just takes stupid-ass unnecessary risk gets you. Far, but not far enough. You see, you can't look at that Ravens game that they just lost and say John Harbaugh made a lot of bad coaching errors. Now, you could call John Harbaugh out on some coaching errors this season, but you can't in that biggest game that he had to play. It was a lot of bad. John Harbaugh went for it on fourth down early in that game when they was on the other side of the field. That was a smart thing to do, though, because You got the best running game in the NFL. If you can't pick up this yard right now when the momentum is Pat Mahomes and the offense already started off good, you need to go for that. Dan Campbell just taking, and I understand momentum play a part in coaching, but that can't not be the only thing. It have to be coaching logic behind this. I just feel as though, and I could be completely wrong, but when I watch the Lions and I watch Dan Campbell specifically coach this team, I don't know how he coaching them up. Maybe he is a master motivator. I don't know. But all I know is I'm not seeing what's supposed to make him special that everybody keep raving about. I don't. And I done talked to y'all about a lot of different head coaches that hell, I just waxed to you about how I think McDaniels is a great head coach. What exactly, like that reporter asked Sirianni, what the fuck is it that Dan Campbell do that make this team so much better than what it was? That's what I'm not understanding. You can get the same improvements with a different head. Well, I'm not going to say that. But you can get a head coach that's a better head coach than Dan Campbell, and you probably would have beat the 49ers. See, that's my problem, man. Too many times I see the media celebrate coaches with big personalities. Oh, because he gave he waxed poetic about what it mean to be a fan of Detroit. Now, every time the media let shit that don't matter influence how they feel about a coach or a player, that's when I get irritated. Bro, him telling you what it mean to be a Detroit fan does not matter. Him telling you what it mean to be a Detroit a citizen does not matter. All the waxing poetic about all this other, the kneecap biting, and none of that shit matters, bro. It don't. The product on the field and how he coaching that shit up does to me. And I'm not telling you he not a leader of men. The dudes say they like him, so that's cool. And I understand you just had Matt Patricia. So it's easy to overhype Dan Campbell. But I'm being honest when I say I don't understand what makes this dude a good head coach. And I'm not attacking Dan Campbell. But that was a game that you cannot lose when you up by that many points on a team that Kyle Shanahan is not even good at coming back against people. I think he like 1-40 or something like that when he trailing by 7 going into the fourth quarter. Dan Campbell, if you are a great head coach, should have known how to coach the rest of that game when they went up the way they went up. He didn't. It felt like he was still guessing and trying to figure out, how do I close out this game? How do I coach up the rest of this game? Not to mention, I'm not taking a shot at Ben Johnson because I don't think his offense changed up that much. But he did not keep his foot on the gas pedal the way you would have liked him to. Not to mention, in that fourth quarter, third quarter kind of, look at how egregious the offense started to play. Mistakes that you just cannot make. Drops. Not being in position. Like, bro, to me, when you look at the Lions in the second half, especially the fourth when they knew, oh, we might lose this game. Bro, palms got sweaty. What the Eminem shit did he say? Knees weak, palms are sweaty, arm, whatever the fuck. That's what happened in Detroit. And it's a shame if you're a Detroit fan and you saw this because you don't know if you're getting back. I know the Ravens going to be back. I have no clue if Detroit will be back in this position next year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know the Ravens because they have a franchise, a legit franchise quarterback and a game changer at quarterback. So I know they'll be back. Just like I know Josh Allen and the Bills will be back. I know Cincinnati will be back. I know Pat Mahomes will always be there. I don't know if Detroit going to be back in this position, to be honest with you, because Jared Goff could have a terrible year next year. Who knows? However, this is what I do know. If they had, and they're not going to do it now, a better coach would have gotten them past the 49ers, bro. That's all I saw when I watched that game. I did not see a Detroit team that was just so overmatched. I saw a Detroit team whose offensive coordinator had them ready to take advantage of the 49ers defense. That's Isaiah Pacheco might run for 200 fucking yards on this defense. I saw an offensive coordinator who had a game plan set out on how he wanted to win this game. I saw a defensive coordinator who was able to get some breathing room because of how quick the offensive coordinator started. But therein lies my problem. The offensive coordinator coached his crew up to get you this lead. Your head coach and your DC couldn't keep it. See, as much as I'm going at the offense on how sloppy and not even sloppy, bro, just how unfocused, tight, scared, whatever you want to call it, for the Lions in the second half of that game, specifically the fourth quarter, was, to me, you hate losing like that. Especially when, and this is why I can't blame Jared Goff. He done been in this moment before. I know I feel how I feel about Jared Goff, but I never felt like he would be shaking. The motherfucker done played in a Super Bowl. I expected the Lamar to start off shaky in the Ravens game. He ain't never been to an AFC championship game. Look at Josh Allen's first AFC championship. These motherfuckers, I understand looking rough for a quarter or two because you never been here. Jared Goff done played in this game like 2 or 3 times. Jared Goff wasn't the problem. Jared Goff, in my opinion, was not the problem. To me, the biggest problems in that Lions game, the reason you lost, your head coach, your DC, and just bad play at the end of the game, bro. Like, I understand there's a lot of people who are going to blame the offense because of how, you know what, I like I just said, I don't understand how what you did to get the lead, you do it at the end of the game, and now everybody's shaking. I mean, when I saw Amon-Ra St. Brown, they had a couple people just dropping catches, but when I saw Amon-Ra St. Brown drop the catch that he dropped, I was like, yeah, they lost this game. And they damn near did everything I said that they needed to do to win, except for they did not get the key Aiden Hutchinson sacks that I think they should have got. Maybe that was what was missing. But I'm be honest, 2 things happened. I did not expect Detroit, even though I have no type of faith in Dan Campbell, did not expect for his team to fall apart like that at the end of the game. And I didn't expect Zay Flowers to make some of the mistakes that he made. I really don't, because I did rewatch the Ravens game a couple times, and as much as I wanted to critique Lamar and whatnot, they still win that game. Like, I see now why people was going at Zay the way they went at him, because they still win that game more than likely if Zay don't commit some of the bonehead. The biggest thing for me about Zay wasn't even the fumble. It was the taunting. I said that at the time. I'm still irritated by that taunting penalty. Bro, y'all is down right now 17-7. You just made a big play. We in the red zone. Why? Like, bro, why do you pick this fucking moment to be a dickhead, bro? And the reason I don't have a problem with the refs or the NFL having this type of rule, at some point in time, players can't just talk about being a good teammate. They can't just praise teammates and say this and that. You got to prove it. Zay was a terrible teammate in that moment. Zay might be one of the greatest teammates you could ever have. In that moment, he was one of the worst teammates you could ever have. And I have no problem with the NFL forcing dudes to either be a team player and think about what you could cost your team right now, or go all in on yourself. Because to me right now, I'm not going at Zay, but you just cannot have, and he taunted, like flexed on the dude, pushed him. Like, you cannot have that. And I ask myself all the time, because I've never been too big of a taunting type of person. I don't even think I taunt people to be a band with you. I don't get it. I really don't. And when you done seen so many people get and in that game, this moment, this game, this stage, why? Zay haven't been taunting people all season. Why start now? Like, I understand emotions run high and things like that, but I just can't understand for the life of me. That's why I have no problem with the taunting penalty. I really don't. Because I don't understand. If you moss somebody, I get it. You want to tap your head like you just dunked on them and things. I get that. I don't understand some of this other taunting shit, man. I really don't. I didn't have no problem with Tyreek throwing up the deuces when he scored. I think that's a ridiculous penalty to have, but listen, you just can't do it. It's really that simple. I'm not gonna make a Super Bowl prediction video because y'all already know who I'm going for. I'm going for the Chiefs. I made that very clear a while ago that I'm going for whoever come out of the AFC. So we're not doing a prediction video for the Super Bowl because that would just be ridiculous. I done told y'all every week who I thought was going to go win the Super Bowl, either Lamar or Pat Mahomes. Whoever make it out of that game, that's who I'm going for. My opinion has not changed. I actually doubled down on it after seeing after seeing, you know what I am concerned about though for KC? I understand Valdez Scantling made the catch that mattered of the season when they needed a catch, even though I just think that's Y'all remember this season when I told y'all it was two dudes on the Ravens secondary that I'm not fans of? Millette, Stevens. It's funny how Stevens Millette the one who gave up that catch at the end of the game, but I also think that was just bad to have Millette guarding him. That the height disadvantage, you know what I'm saying? And that was a perfect throw by Pat Mahomes. But I'm just, because I look at the games the way I look at them, I feel as though most times I can see the weakest link on a defense. Because believe it or not, I've been a defensive guy my whole life, even though I wax poetic about offenses here and there. Not here and there, I do it all the time, but I'm a big defensive guy. And it was not hard for me to see the weakest links on the Baltimore defense. And that was clearly to me Brandon Stevens and Arthur Millette, I think is his name. I would not be shocked if Stevens is back next year, even though I don't personally feel like Stevens has some good games this year, and it's still room for development. I think this is only like his second or third year. I think he's going to get paid by somebody. I think somebody's going to overpay him. But, you know, I don't know if I feel yet that he is great by committee or if he is just I don't know yet. I think he could be growing into a great corner, but man, he just give up some catches sometimes. It's ridiculous, bro. Like, he nowhere near his man. Like, he don't recover the way you would want somebody to recover when he defending, when he in zone. He good in man here. He good in man and zone, but he just get beat a lot. And I see him get beat a lot, so I don't care what the numbers and what say. The numbers and all that other shit. I see him get beat way more than any other cornerback on the Ravens. If Millette was a starter, he'd get torched too. Look at Marlon Humphreys. Look at Stevens. Marlon Humphrey may give up that big catch at the end of games where he just give up those long catches. I don't know why Marlo is so terrible at defending the deep routes, but he is god awful at defending deep routes most of the time. But look at how he defend everything else. To me, he just a better, well, it shouldn't be a shock that he's a better corner, but I think Brandon Stevens is overrated at the moment. Because I done heard people wax poetic about him, and I just don't see what everybody else see. I do see a good cornerback. Don't get it twisted. But I don't know if this is good cornerback by committee at this moment or a good cornerback because he a good cornerback. Because some of the routes that he gives up, good cornerbacks just don't give those up. I'm just saying. Now, I'm not really too mad about slanting a corner to death because that got more to do with your middle, your defense, being able to handle that. But I'm just not the big. I think the Ravens could replace both of those dudes in the offseason. I don't think they'll replace Stevens. I do think Millette will be replaced, but, you know, I think the Ravens secondary is the weakest part of their defense at the moment, which is crazy because that's been the best part of their defense for the last couple years. So, and I understand that you got Kyle Hamilton. I understand the Kyle Hamilton thing, but him and Marlo being the only two, mind you, Cal is not always going to be playing a safety coverage. Sometimes he coming down in the box. Sometimes he manning up to follow a guy. I do think Kyle Hamilton going to have a phenomenal season next year. I would not be shocked if he is first team All-Pro again. I think Travis Kelce catching that shit on him did something to his soul. Also, speaking of Travis Kelce, why is this dude picking on a kicker? Like, why is Travis Kelce going so hard at a kicker? I don't get that. Like going at Justin Tucker, bro. What are we doing? I'm baffled by it, really, bro. You are a 2-time Super Bowl champion, bro. One of the greatest tight ends to ever play. In some people's mind, the greatest tight end to ever play. You going at a kicker? Like, I would think that's beneath you and Mahomes. But I understand people saying Jordan need to find motivation from a kicker. I don't know about that. And I understand Justin Tucker considered the greatest kicker all time, but a kicker? Like, we swinging low on kickers? The Ravens should just take all this as motivation, bro. They should be excited to shut up Travis Kelce next year. They should be. That's why I really want them to go to Kansas City to play Kansas City next year. Because you got to be. If I was a Raven fan I mean, if I was on that team, I would be playing every single clip of Travis Kelce talking after this game. I would probably play the Mahomes things too, even though I love Mahomes. Why? But I would probably play. Yeah, I would definitely play the Mahomes. I would play all of them. I would play every single one of them and tell my team, remember remember everything they saying right now. The victor always get to talk the most shit at the end. Remember this. Remember how they talked to you after this game, and remember how they talked to you before this game, because they didn't know they was going to win this game at first, so they treated you with a lot of respect. Look at how they talked about you afterwards. So I saw Pat Mahomes' pop say he's smoking that Lamar Jackson pack. Bro, I wanted to slap the shit out of that nigga. Oh, I got so mad when I saw him say that shit. Now, a lot of shit don't piss me off. That shit pissed me off when he said, I'm smoking that Lamar Jackson. Bro, I'll whoop your ass, old man. Okay, I apologize, bro. I got a little out of character right there. But that shit did piss me off. That's probably the only thing that done irritate. Well, the Travis Kelce thing didn't irritate me. It just confused me. Like, bro, you punching down at a kicker. Pat Mahomes' dad need his ass waxed after that, though. Lamar, you better replay that every single day of the offseason, bro. Smoking on that Lamar. I feel like you only say that when you playing against a disrespectful person. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucker who never disrespected me, I'm not finna say I'm smoking on that Tom Brady, Pat Peyton, man. These motherfuckers never disrespected me. Tom Brady, I mean, Mahomes has been shown nothing but respect from Lamar. So it's hard for me, and maybe I'm just biased, but if we had to beat Pat Mahomes, I'm not finna get on here and say we smoking on that Mahomes pack. Now, we beat these motherfuckers next year, I will 100% be saying we smoking on that Pat Mahomes dad pack, that Travis Kelce pack. So, yeah, get ready for that. And the joke's going to be far worse than that next year if we beat him. So, just understand that. But, yeah, his dad, that felt kind of personal. I ain't going to lie to you. That felt kind of personal. Anyways, shout out to Mike McDonald. Shout out to, hold up. Hold up, bro. Somebody just messaged me, and I don't understand what the fuck that message was. They added me and everything. Anyways, shout out to the Chiefs. I'm not celebrating the 49ers. Shout out to the Chiefs, everybody except Pat Mahomes' dad. Shout out to Mike McDonald. That's what I'm thinking of. It was some other news that I needed to talk about, and I can't remember it. So that's the show. With that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Lions fans, if you listen to this and you've been waiting for me to upload a video about your team, I apologize, but you couldn't have been waiting that long because you lost. So there's no way you wanted to hear about your team losing. If you're a San Francisco fan, you're probably not going to like me anyways because I don't give a damn that y'all won. I picked y'all to go to the Super Bowl a couple weeks ago. That's exactly what happened. Not shocked that it happened. Shocked that y'all actually won that. Not really shocked that y'all won that game because of who Dan Campbell is, but more so shocked that Dan Campbell was so willing to let that game just slip away. But with that being said, appreciate you for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Tell somebody you fuck with it. Oh, I remember what it is. So, with the football season coming to an end, we got to find new things to talk about. Obviously, the NBA season is coming up. Other sports we'll talk about, off-season news for the NFL. But if you want Saint to specifically talk about something, like if it's something you really want my opinion on and you want to hear my thoughts on, just drop it in the comment section. If you got a specific topic you want me to talk about, drop it in the comment section. You got me a team you specifically want me to talk about, or a coach or a player or what they're going to do, drop it in the comment. Regardless if it's basketball, do not drop a soccer thing. Do not drop a hockey thing. Baseball is free game. Basketball, don't drop no college shit because if you don't know, we don't watch college sports. So I do watch some college sports, but I don't enjoy college. I don't watch college football unless it's Bama. I'm finna start watching Bama now, though, since St. Nick gone. I'm finna be watching Colorado if they get better. If Colorado come out here on that bullshit they was on at the end of the season, I ain't watching that shit either. But bro, did y'all see them new cleats that Deion Sanders got for his squad? Oh, my God. Bro, Colorado got some fire-ass unis, bro. I'm not gonna lie. And I like they field. And I like their locker room. I ain't gonna lie. Deion Sanders could turn that bit out. Anyways, whatever you want Saint to talk about, drop it in the comment section. And Saint gonna get to it. Saint gonna do all his homework to see what the topic is. And I'm gonna come back ready to talk about that. Now, hey, listen to me. If you want me to talk, because I think I'm gonna do a WrestleMania breakdown, even though I don't watch wrestling no more. I'm probably gonna watch WrestleMania. I actually don't know if I'm gonna watch WrestleMania. I'm so detached from WWE right now. I don't think I'm gonna watch WrestleMania, to be honest with you. But other than that, the NBA season is the next thing that we are about to cover. But I will say, I am excited for my Pro Bowl video because the Pro Bowl video is coming. Like every year, how to make the Pro Bowl better. And we got far more viewers and whatnot now. So this will be, I'm probably gonna name the video something that get a lot of views. Like I'm gonna name it something about Josh Allen or see that. Now I'm finna clickbait. I'm finna clickbait to get the viewers in there because I need people to hear my thoughts on the Pro Bowl, bro. Because my thoughts on the Pro Bowl have been phenomenal, bro. I saw that, bro. I was talking to a woman today. Some people just say the stupidest shit. This chick was like, What's your love language? And that's a weird question to me because I'm a grown ass man who don't really get asked questions like that. So I was like, I don't really know, bro. Just be cool. You want to know what she told me? My love language is knowing that you'll buy anything for me, spoiling me, doing this and that. Why do it start with bread? Why do it always start with money? I know money make the world go round, but if you really searching for the one, you don't think the person that's in love with you would spend money on you? Why would that be something you lead with? And I'm going to tell you how much I don't like this shit. And how much women don't really look for equality. They just look to be spoiled. If a man walked up to you and said, yeah, I want to date you because of money, bro. Like, I want you to buy shit for me, yada, yada. What you're going to say is, you're a grown man saying that? Man supposed to do that for... No. A man supposed to do that for the woman he love. To start off a conversation or a dating thing by saying, money is your love language. Like buying stuff for me and yada... Bro. Men, watch the women. See, for a motherfucker like me, who done spun the block too many times to count, I know how to react when women say stupid shit like that to me. All right. Some dudes don't realize that they the prize. The woman might be the prize, but you a prize too, bro. When women talk to you like that, move off of them real quick. Only stress comes after that, bro. And the type of woman that is not the type of woman you want anyways. With that being said, I appreciate you for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. The Pro Bowl. We ain't doing predictions, but we'll probably cover the Pro Bowl and all. I think the Pro Bowl start this week, as a matter of fact. So we'll cover the Pro Bowl like we did last year. With that being said, I appreciate you for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. You could be anything in the world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. I appreciate y'all for joining me this season. I understand the season is almost over. I understand everybody who was here in the beginning might not be here in the end because their team done been eliminated, but I appreciate you nonetheless. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. Like, subscribe, share. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, you know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.